Hey Songwriters, Danny here, founder of Songwriters International. Welcome to episode 3 of how to craft a pro song and how to go on and actually monetize your music. Now, we are on episode 3. If you've not watched episode 2 or 1, that'll be linked in the description below, so go and follow them because they're put in a specific order so that you can implement them step by step. Now, in this episode, we're talking about one of the most important parts of the process, and it's lyrics. Lyrics are the backbone and so important to a great song. Now, without further ado, I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to share with you some technique strategies and allow you to write the best lyrics that you've ever written. So first and foremost, what are lyrics, right? If you're answering it, great. What they are is the story, okay? They deliver the story. They tell the listener that person A meets person B, they live happily ever after, and they tell the listener what happened in between. Now, on rare occasions, they can be used as a hook, but 9 times out of 10 in most songs, they are designed to tell the story. So the only way you can tell a story in your song is by the lyrics. And I want you to see your songs differently. Maybe you see it this way, but I share this with every songwriter I work with, that your song is a 3 to 5 minute story. Okay, now if you do have songs that are shorter or longer, that's absolutely fine. Okay, you just make it relevant to you. Your songs are an 8-minute story if you have a longer song. But in average, here in 2025, the average song is around 3 to 5 minutes, okay? Your song is a story. It's designed to take listener from not knowing anything, okay? Not knowing a single piece of the story, to then by the end, they know everything that's happened. They know, let's say it's a love song, or let's say it's about moving away, right? It's about how did they get to that decision? How did they get to the other side of the world? What did they do? What made them want to move? And you have to tell that story throughout the lyric. So let's jump into tip 1 when it comes to lyrics. Your lyrics should be progressive, and that will tie into episode 2 where we talked about planning out your song and allowing you to do that. But let me give you an example of what I actually mean by this. So I've put together a simple example here. I've put the lyrics on the board. Hopefully you can see them all okay, but I'm going to read you through them, okay? I feel 1,000 miles away, even when we're just 6 feet apart. Not a single word spoken, but is there really much to say? Okay, so let's say that's one of our verse lyrics. Okay, that's one of our sections. Where could we push this lyric? How could we make it progressive? How could we offer another part of the story for the listener so that it's continuing this driving forward motion? So what we could do is tell the listener how long it's been like this, okay? It might have just been like this a few days, a few months, even a few years. We could talk about what led to this situation. What led to them being 1,000 miles away or feeling like they're 1,000 miles away when they're just 6 feet apart and that they don't speak? What led to that happen? Another thing we could actually offer the listener for a continuation of the story, is it past the point of resolve? Is it at that point now where it's gone, it's broken, it's done, it's finished? Because that could be a continuation on of this story. Now, all of those 3 examples that I just shared with you, like I say, are a continuation of this story. They don't continue saying the same thing, but just in a slightly different way. They are driving the song forward. They are offering a continuation for the listener to feel engaged, to share with them something new, which is only going to increase your chances of retaining that listener and taking them up to the chorus and then onto the verse 2 and everywhere else. Now, this also ties in very well with episode 2 where I talked about planning and preparing your song, because that ties in, right? We identify our point, we know what we're trying to deliver so that we can continue to drive the song forwards. Okay, so let's dive on into tip number 2. We've got verse equals detail, chorus equals simplicity. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, just the average song, okay? Now, I'm just saying average song because there are other songs that don't necessarily do this, but if you were to have a look at 10 songs, you will find that 7 or 8 of them, lyrically, the verse will have the detail. It will get into the specifics. It will get really metaphorical, or it will dig deeper for the lyric, where the chorus will be simplistic. It will say the overarching point of the song, and we're going to give some examples of that in a moment. But I want you to understand that when you go into writing a song. The verse is designed to be more detailed, more specific on things, and the chorus is designed to be the hook and catchy. So typically what we do, so let's say we have an example, and the idea that we've got is all about moving forwards with life, leaving the past and the mistakes and maybe things that you've done in the past where they belong and moving forwards and starting afresh, right? Now let's just say that is the example for the song. The verse would perhaps get specific about the past first, okay? Verse 1 could actually get into the specifics of what happened, okay? Actually tell the listener the details. Dig deeper. Tell the listener, engage them in, and capture their attention with some interesting lyrics. Now let's have a look at what the chorus example might be. It could be just something super simple. I'm leaving it all behind, moving forwards with my life, right? Because that's the overarching point of the song, right? The chorus is designed to focus on hooks, okay? So the focus here would really be on the melody and not so much complexity in the lyric. But in the verse, what we would do is get into the specifics. In verse 1, okay, we can get into the specifics of what happened in the past. Verse 2 could be the specifics of how we're actually going to move forwards. And then it's got a center point that always comes back to something nice and simple. Again, I'm leaving it all behind, moving forwards with my life. It just tells the listener what needs to be said, and what you'll find is the chorus is going to deliver what the main point of the song is all about. Whatever the main point is of your song, so if you ask yourself and you say, okay, what is the main point of my song? Well, the main point of my song is this. And whatever you say there is typically what you're going to find yourself saying in the chorus. Tip number 3, it just says, say it better. Now I'm going to explain to you what I mean by this, but let's say you have a lyric in your song that you're just not sold on, you don't quite like it, it's not really hitting the mark for you. I'm going to share with you how you can take what you said, dig deeper, and say it better, because you've already given yourself what you need to say, okay? All we need to do now is then explore it and actually dive deeper. Okay, so example 1 of this, let's just say we had a lyric which says, I want to move from here. Okay, we had that in our song. It doesn't really hit the mark. It doesn't really tell the listener very much in great respect. Okay, it just basically says it. Now, if it was a chorus, perhaps it might work. But in a verse, we're not really happy with it. We want to dig a bit deeper. So here's the example of how we can go deeper and actually have a far better lyric. Okay, so the lyric that we originally had was, I want to move from here. What we've done, digged a bit deeper, and we've got this. Grab that suitcase out from under the stairs and empty my life into it. Okay, it's fundamentally the same lyric, but except rather than saying I want to move from here, okay, cool, well, if you want to move, you could try and get in a suitcase and getting it out from where you had it, under the stairs, and emptying your life into it. It's far better. It paints a far better picture for the listener. It's a far better lyric just in general, and I can guarantee you it's going to intrigue the listener to want to continue on listening to your song. Okay, so let's dive into example 2. Let's just say we had a lyric in our song which was I'm feeling lost. Again, it doesn't really hit the mark. Yes, it tells the listener very simply what's going on, but we're not happy with it. Okay, we want to dig a little bit deeper. How could we do that? Well, let's do it. Okay, so we took the lyric I'm feeling lost and then we just revamped it, and we have spinning around in circles, trying to find my way. Okay, a way to go, way out, whatever you want to say, but straight away, spinning around in circles. Okay, it paints a little bit more of a picture for the listener and makes them think. So there we have it. There's 3 different tips allowing you to actually craft a better lyric that is progressive, that paints more image, and actually hits the mark in the way that you want it to do so. So if you haven't already, go and watch episode 1, episode 2, because it's a continuation of this, okay? Idea, plan, lyric, and then we're going to drive on forwards from here. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this, and I will see you over on the next episode.